We're going to be expressing one number as a percent of another number. It's pretty easy, particularly when you use a calculator. I'm going to show you how to use a calculator to solve these problems, and I'm also going to show you how to do these problems without a calculator. So let's get on with it. Let's look at question A. It says there, express 6 as a percent of 13. So first thing you need to be able to do is to convert this kind of information into a fraction. So let's do that. Express 6 as a percent of 15. So 15 is the total and 6 is the part of that total. So it becomes 6/15. And from this point, you've got a number of options about the way you can approach this question and solving it. Essentially, though, once you've considered a couple of other steps, you will be multiplying, because it's percent, you will be multiplying by 100. And you need it to be a fraction, so you put it over 1. Okay, this is the most straightforward way to do it. So, you know how to multiply fractions. It's denominator times denominator. Sorry, I'm pointing at the wrong numbers. Numerator times numerator, and then denominator times denominator. So, 6 times 100, okay, so that becomes 600. And you've got 15 times 1, which is 15. Great. You're nearly there. This is not quite a percent yet. So let's turn this into a number. Let's go with, what this says is 600 divided by 15. So let's solve that problem. 600 divided by 15. So here we go. 15 into 6, well, that's 0, right? So carry the 6 to the next digit. 15 into 60, though, yeah, that's 4. And there's no remainders. And then 15 into 0, well, that's 0. Well, there we go, it's 40%. Okay, you could do it slightly differently. Okay, so let me just go down here. Remember 6 out of 15 was our conversion of this information into a fraction. Well, one of the things you should always do to make life a little bit easier for yourself is look to see if there's a factor that can go into the numerator and the denominator evenly. In this case, yes, there is a number that can do it. That's even, that's odd, so it definitely isn't 2, but it is 3. If I divide 6 by 3 and 15 by 3, okay, what I get is 6 divided by 3 is 2, 15 divided by 3 is 5. Great. So from here, I can go to multiplying, because I've just renamed 6/15 as 2/5, and that might help me a bit later. So multiplied by 100 over 1, that's the percentage conversion sort of element there. And then 2 times 100 is 200. And then 5 times 1 is 5. And now, instead of having 600 divided by 15, I've got 200 divided by 5. And that might be a little bit easier. So 200 divided by 5, 200 divided by 5. So 5 into 2, well, that's not happening, so that's 0. I move that 2, carry the 2 over to the next number. So 5 into 20, that's 4. Nothing left over. 5 into 0, 0. So 40%. Okay, so that's how you can do it without a calculator. But we also should be able to do this with a calculator. So let's get a calculator in here. And all you do is you take your fraction and type it into the calculator. So 6 divided by 15. So let's type that in. 6 divided by 15. Hit the percent, go equals, and you get 40. And we've already had 40. In fact, we've got it twice. So this is the third time we've got 40. That's the answer, 40%. Okay, so let's have a look at the next one. It says here to express 24 as a percentage of 30. So in this case, 30 is the whole and 24 is the part. Again, the easiest thing to do, or not necessarily the easiest, the most straightforward thing to do is to multiply it by 100, turn 100 into a fraction, and then just go numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Let's do numerator times numerator. 24 times 100. Well, let's just do 24 times 1 is 24. And just add these two zeros. There you go. Easy. And then 30 times 1, that's 30. At this stage, what I should do, I can see zeros on the end of both numbers, the numerator and the denominator. So I'm going to get rid of them. If I get rid of this 0, I've basically divided by 10, right? So 30 divided by 10 is 3, which is what I have left. So I just do the same up here. 2,400 divided by 10 is 240. Great. Next step is I need to be able to solve this problem here, which says 240 divided by 3. Okay, and then I just solve. 3 into 2, that's not happening. Carry the 2 over here. 3 into 24 is 8. Nothing left over. 3 into 0 is 0. Done. So the answer, 80%. Slightly different way to do it. I start with 24, right, over 30. So I've already decided that. Before I go any further, are there any numbers, any factors that can go into 24 and 30? And if there are, what's the highest one? Okay, so 4 is not going to work. 2, yes, that can work. 3, yes, 3 will work. 4 won't work. 5 won't work. 6 looks good. 8, no, so we'll go with 6. So 24 divided by 6, that's 4. Whatever you do to the top, got to do to the bottom. So that's 5. And now I can do my old 100. And now I can do numerator times numerator. So that gives me 400. Denominator times denominator gives me 5. And instead of doing 2,400 divided by 30 or 240 divided by 3, I have 400 divided by 5. 5 into 4, that doesn't happen, carry the 4. 5 into 40 is 8. 5 into 0, and there you go. We're left with 80%. Okay, let's bring in the calculator and just work that through on the calculator. So let's clear everything. So we started, remember, with 24 divided by 30. And then we just hit the percent button, push the equals, and hey presto, we've got 80. So that's how you do those kinds of questions.